Hi, Marcos Giron here with Team Teed Up. Today we're going to be talking about my switch, the Yonex Percept 97D. Before switching to this racket, I was using the V-Core 95. I love that racket and it felt amazing, and it really was wonderful for my game. However, I felt like as time progresses, I got to keep progressing. I found that racket was a small sweet spot, and if I didn't hit the center, I didn't get the same quality ball that I was getting. And so I wanted to change to something that gave me a little bit more forgiveness. After the US Open, I tried a few different rackets, and when I picked this up and hit with it, it was hot, it was lively, and I just loved the way that it felt. I felt like I could take the ball as early as I wanted, and I can hit the ball as flat as I wanted, and it always stayed in control. I always felt like I knew how the ball was coming off no matter where I hit it. It's not the most powerful racket, but I feel like since I know how it's gonna come off, it gives me the freedom to swing out as much as I need to. And so I feel like the equipment I've had to progress. Last year I was using Torbite and Gut, and I felt like I was on the grass, and I felt like I always had to add spin. The Gut felt amazing and it was very powerful, but I felt like I lost control, especially on returns or if I wanted to hit really flat. And so I was personally worse off for it. So during the grass, I switched to actually the whole Polytour Pro, which is the yellow string, and it feels amazing. It's very powerful, it's easy on the arm, and I found that it gave me what I needed. And I was using that through the US Open. After the US Open, when I tried this racket, I loved it, but I found with the 1820 and using the Polytour Pro, where it's a circular string, I felt like I needed a little bit extra spin. Also, the Polytour Pro I found lost tension pretty fast, even though it feels amazing. And so I think the combo with the Polytour Rev and the main, it gives me that little extra bite where when I'm flicking the ball or I'm on defense, it grabs the ball. And also it maintains tension a little better. And so when I tried this racket, I actually used it as was, right off the rack, to feel how the weight was. And it felt great. I just thought it needed a little bit in the head to help keep the momentum of the racket going through. And it turns out that the weight, I'm actually using a little bit lighter, maybe 5 grams lighter than I was on the V-Core 95, but it's a little bit more in the head. And so I find that it's still light enough that if I'm late and I can make up with it with my hands, but it's still solid that when I'm driving through it, the racket does not shake at all. That's why I made the switch to the Yonex Percept 97D. I love this racket. I'm playing the best tennis of my life, and you can get it at tenniswarehouse.com.